Hey, it's Scott Penfold here with you for another edition of the Loaded Radio podcast. And on the podcast this week, I'm going to be talking one-on-one with Niilo Sevänen. He is the frontman for the band INSOMNIUM. Yes, some melodic death metal for you. And then as well as we always do on the second portion of the podcast, we'll connect with Johnny Rude down there in Las Vegas, Nevada, and talk to him about the week that was in hard rock and metal. All the news, all the stuff that happened. We'll be going over that with you, just keep you up to date with everything that's going on, okay? But to get things going, though, as I just mentioned, really excited about talking to this guy, man. He is the frontman for the melodic death metal band INSOMNIUM. They have the new EP out now called Argent Moon, which is kind of a departure from the usual sound. It's more of, could you even say death metal ballads? We'll talk to Niilo about that. Here he is right now. Niilo, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast this week.
This is an honor, of course.
Yes, thank you so much. Now, the new EP, I really want to get right into this because being a fan of INSOMNIUM, it's definitely something different, but very, very welcome, I think, by the fans. Argent Moon is just definitely a departure in sound, going more toward, I'd say, maybe even a softer sound, even balladish. Like, was that the intention with this? And where did the decision really come from to release this 4-song EP?
Yeah, that was the plan. That it's going to be a special EP for ballad kind of songs. Of course, still INSOMNIUM songs, but more in the slower end of our musical spectrum. But I don't know how we originally decided this, but it was when the Corona started. Year and a half ago, we were in USA and we played one show and then we had to evacuate ourselves back home. And it was just unreal. The whole spring, of course, not just for us, but for everyone, of course. But I think pretty soon we realized we need to make music, that everything else is uncertain, but we have to make music and new songs and preferably something that we could release quite soon. Our fans could get something positive in their lives and we would have something to do. And I think then we talked with Century Media and decided, okay, let's record 4 songs. Let's release them one by one and then EP in the end. And pretty soon we had this idea that they were going to be these ballad kind of songs. But the idea is not to change our band. We're not going to be a radio-friendly INSOMNIUM from now on. This was just a special EP with this kind of songs, and then we have something else coming next again.
Personally, I've heard 3 of the 4 songs. I think they're beautiful. I think they still carry that INSOMNIUM stamp. Like I said, I think it's a very welcome release, and I think INSOMNIUM fans are really going to love all 4 songs. I really do.
Thank you. I think the feedback has been really good. There has been only a couple of comments that I've seen that, all these songs are so soft and and kind of, well, that was the point. But that our fans shouldn't be afraid that we're not changing our style. And I think all these 4 songs, they're all different, but they still sound like INSOMNIUM. And all the composers in the band have been active. There's something from each of us on this EP. So it's a team effort.
You know, the song that really stood out for me out of the 3 that I've heard was The Conjurer. I really, really enjoy that. I think it's really, really epic. It really paints a picture, just a really awesome picture, I think, of what you're trying to portray. Tell me about the song The Conjurer.
It's Markus Vanha's composition and my lyrics. And I think it was the first song that kind of emerged and was in some kind of shape. And this whole Argent Moon idea started from that. There is this, I don't know how well this song is known outside Finland, but there's this old Italian song which is translated to Finnish. And it's like, I don't know what is the original title, Luna something. Mm-hmm. This kind of old song, Argent Moon, is kind of what is translated. And we got the idea from that first it was kind of a joke that, hey, let's make a version of this Luna di Madre song.
Yeah.
But then it kind of turned serious. And then I wrote, kind of extended the story, what other things might happen here. And I made an INSOMNIUM version of those lyrics. And that's how Argent Moon song.
Very cool. Now, another great song I found on there, The Antagonist. I really, really like that one too. A great and a really cool video. What can you tell me about that one?
Yeah. Well, that song is mine and Yanni's composition and my lyrics. And well, actually, I think that demo was the first one that I did like during that spring. And I sent it to other guys, say, let's do something. Here's something I did. And then Yanni grabbed it and added his ideas. And then we had quite quickly a finished song. And the lyrics tell about this person who realizes that he's actually the bad guy in the story.
Yeah.
That kind of life used to be good and things were better. And there was a lady, but she left. And then at one point, the guy realizes that he's actually the bad guy here and the villain of the story. So that's kind of the idea behind the lyrics.
And you know what? That kind of hits hard because, I mean, all it really takes, like, you know, just one bad day, right? And then all of a sudden you realize you're the bad guy. So I think that's really cool. Yeah.
It could happen to any one of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, what about the song The Reticent? Tell me about that one.
Well, that's Ville Freeman's composition and his lyrics also.
Okay.
And, well, it's very INSOMNIUM style. I think it's kind of some kind of cousin of One for Sorrow song, maybe. There's some resemblance there in the atmosphere. And I think Ville's lyrics are very like COVID related. So they actually tell about the anxiety and the fears that we experience when we are in isolation. The future is uncertain. So it really is the song about 2020 year in a nutshell. That's, yeah. You know, and we also wanted to have the video kind of to express that it's black and white and it's kind of claustrophobic and very dark and that kind of feeling.
Yeah, and it does that too. And you know, that really leads into my next question was about, you know, COVID-19, the pandemic. Would you say that this EP was really fueled by that sort of just dropping on us in 2020, that this is sort of some of that angst?
Yes. The Reticent song is kind of the most obvious example of that. Yeah. Because the lyrics clearly deal with that issue. But, well, somehow this kind of slow ballad atmospheric kind of songs, they sort of, well, for us, they kind of fit that mood, kind of that depressing melancholic mood. I think it felt more natural to do that kind of songs than something really upbeat and fast and furious.
Of course.
That's something that we might do next. But it was definitely the 2020 feelings that kind of were channeled into these songs, these 4 songs now. You
were mentioning before that there are plans for a 9th studio album to come out in 2022. Are you planning on, I thought Heart Like a Grave was a fantastic album. I thought it was a great album. It was strong. Are you looking at maybe something down the same vein as Heart Like a Grave, or are you looking to totally depart that and try something completely different?
Well, we just had rehearsal. Well, training camp, I would say. Yeah. Like today, the guys we were all here in Kotka, and we were here for 3 days and played. I think we played 4 or 5 songs, new songs already. Yeah. We have demos of like about 10 songs, so there is already material, and the kind of you can already sense what kind of next album will be. And nice. Of course, I don't want to reveal too much, but okay. Well, maybe it will be a combination of Winter's Gate and Heart Like a Grave. So something from our previous works. But of course, we always want to try something new, something fresh, a little bit new kind of elements there, so that it stays interesting for us and the fans as well. But,
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
have a good vibe. Everyone has done songs, and there's variety. There's that INSOMNIUM atmosphere. Our fans can be sure that it sounds like INSOMNIUM still.
That's cool. Yeah, because I was about to say that I think, after a release like Heart Like a Grave and, I remember like Marcus at one time said that he felt that Heart Like a Grave was, in his opinion, easily the strongest INSOMNIUM record you had ever done. Would you have agreed with him up to that point?
That's such a difficult question. Like,
yeah, I know.
Like, which one is your favorite child? It's kind of the same kind of question, but definitely Heart Like a Grave, Winter's Gate are there in the very top, but also some of the old albums they have this nostalgic feeling, of course, and you remember that time, and of course the first album is special, and About the Weeping World is special because then things kind of leaped to another level and something happened, and but it's hard to pick just one album. It's really impossible for me.
I understand. Now, getting into you personally, I was just looking at some of your early influences. You cited bands like Queen, Aerosmith, Sepultura, and Metallica, some early influences. Yes. Now, are those bands that you would ever maybe like to perhaps one day, maybe do a cover of, or like, you know what I mean, or somehow like maybe pay tribute to in some sort of way? We haven't really done much cover versions ever. No. Maybe it would be something less obvious, or maybe a little bit smaller band, or kind of bit underground band that we would pick. Okay. If we would like doing a Metallica cover, it sounds like a bit boring, Like gotcha. Everybody has played Metallica songs at some point, but of course Queen would be more interesting, or Sepultura. Sepultura, of course. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
All right. See, now I'm going to be waiting for that. Now I wanted to ask you about this too. I don't know if you can answer this or not, but it's speculated that you did the vocals for Beelzebub's album Pantheon of the Nightside Gods. What can you answer that? Was that you?
I can't answer that.
Okay. Well, maybe not answering is an answer.
No comments.
I understand. Okay, well, we'll leave that one for I guess the imaginations of our listeners. Now, getting into Finland right now, how would you describe the metal landscape in Finland today?
Well. Of course, this Corona thing dominates everything. All the discussion that when can we play the live shows and can there be festivals, and that kind of dominates everything at the moment. Yeah. And I really don't have that much time to follow the scene, that I really don't know the young new bands that well. Right. But on the other hand, I have a feeling that there hasn't been that many new young great bands in last 10 years. Really, eh? And when you look at what the what the teens are doing, it's obvious that they are not starting bands and they're not playing heavy metal. They're doing something else. Yeah. My son is an exception. He plays guitar and he would like to start a band, but it's very hard to find other kids who would like to play in a band. And I've been trying to help him as much as I can, but it's not the same. When I was 15, it was pretty easy to find guys about the same age who wanted to play in a band, but it's different now. That's too bad. That's really too bad, because I always thought that Finland was just ripe with hungry metal bands. I had no idea that it had become like that. It has changed a bit, but I hope there is hope in the next generation, and I'm sure we will see some kind of rock and roll revival, and soon it will be only the middle-aged people will listen to hip-hop and all the teenagers get back into rock and roll. I'm waiting for that.
And melodic death metal, don't forget.
Of course, melodic death metal, yes.
Now, as well as being part of INSOMNIUM, you're the director of culture for Kotka, Finland, and, organizing the Kotka Maritime Festival. And you've also majored in history and culture and literature. Do you find that helps with your music writing?
Well, actually, I've been only an artist now for 5-6 years. So I left my day job.
Okay.
Because it was just impossible to combine anymore. Like you have two careers at the same time, and it was just too hard. I had to make a decision, and I haven't regretted at all. Even now with Corona, I'm happy that I'm an artist. I'm a musician.
Yeah,
and so that was the right decision. But the other question that I've majored in history and read literature also, of course, it has helped a lot, especially when it comes to writing the lyrics and building all that INSOMNIUM mythology and stuff like that. And of course, now that we've been forced to stay home and we haven't been touring, then I've had time to write, which is my other passion besides music.
Awesome, man. You know what, Niilo, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to talk to me today. Can't wait to see you live again. Yeah,
we really hope that we can soon come over there and rock again.
Yes.
All over. Yes.
Absolutely. And well, hey, you know what? Great. Best of luck with Argent Moon, and we'll hopefully see you again soon then.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this.
Take care. All the best.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. There he is. That's Niilo Sevänen from INSOMNIUM. Just absolutely awesome melodic death metal band. Argent Moon is out now. It's a great EP as well. Great sounding, very sonic sounding melodic death metal. But it's Scott Penfold here with you on the Loaded Radio podcast, and we are now going to be joined by our buddy down there in Las Vegas, Nevada. His name is Johnny Rude, and he's works for Loaded Radio, and you may have heard him, of course, on the stream or hosting his show, Loaded Radio Rewind. And Johnny, how are you, man?
Oh, hey, there you are.
What's going on?
Happy birthday, belated.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
Tamara just surprised me. She's got me tickets October 15th for System of a Down, and Korn just got added to the bill. It's at T-Mobile here in Las Vegas. Buddy.
Yeah, so that's cool. Really Faith No More had to drop out. I heard Mike Patton actually canceled all Faith No More.
I did read that earlier too.
Mike Patton, he just came up and canceled all Faith No More and Mr. Bungle shows because of mental exhaustion. Apparently, some things that had come up with him mentally. He was saying during the pandemic seem to have really been reared their ugly head with him lately, and he's been struggling mentally with things. So he's pulled all dates. But it's cool that Korn was able to step up. That's definitely very cool.
So hang on, Faith No More and Mr. Bungle was on the System of a Down tour.
No, just Faith No More. But Mike Patton, he fronts both bands, and both bands had shows coming up. But
I see. So he was doing a Faith No More support date with System. Who knows, man? That's too bad. I would have liked to have seen them. I saw them years ago, dude, when they first started, and really, really cool. And here's something odd. I was watching an old Saturday Night Live from maybe 92, 91, and there's a great performance by Faith No More on this Saturday Night. Yeah, it was killer, dude. And it just happened to be on, I don't know, a few months ago, and I watched it, and I obviously remember it from watching it because it was cool. I was telling you earlier, System of a Down and Korn just got added to this bill October 15th here. And I mean, we all know Jonathan Davis. He came down with the COVID bullshit, and he's been having to sit on a chair to sing because, it's ravished his lungs. I'm sure he's getting better, but still, this ain't no joke, man. But that's, and here's the thing. This show could be canceled for all I know, for all anyone knows, October 15th. We don't know what's happening next week, so I hope it doesn't. I will go. I went to the GNR thing, and I'm alive, everybody. It was cool. But yeah, I'd like to see that. And again, some shows are getting canceled, but some are persevering. Most of the outside stuff is a go. We just had the football game here, Scott. The Raiders versus the Ravens, and oh my God, dude, this will go down in the history books as the opening game in history. It was awesome, overtime, awesome, and it was sold out. 61,000 people. All vaccinated, believe it or not. That was the deal to get into Allegiant Stadium here. And the game was killer. I didn't go. I watched it on the old television. But wow, what a game, man. So good to see. And hey, that was a good way of doing it. And hey, everybody, guess what? It works. If you're vaccinated, it works, man.
Yeah, and that's really cool, man. I mean, and I'm a big supporter of that moving forward. I know that pretty much every tour out there is getting canceled for some sort of reason, mostly being COVID-19. So, yeah, I mean, it does give some hope to this thing, man, that we can, move forward and hopefully have some live shows again, like and safely too,
Yeah, that's the ticket. And I think most venues and promoters, whatnot, they're saying you can't come in unless you're vaccinated. So this, like I said a few weeks ago, the burden's got to be put on these other people that don't want to get vaccinated for whatever reason. Again, it's not my place, but if you're just being an ass, then guess what? You can't go. And if you want to go, this is what you have to do. Get vaccinated. Let's get to the end of this and let's get the shows happening. Most places are going to be vaccinated only. If you want to come in, you got to have a shot, man. So you got to have a shot to get a shot. How about that?
Yeah, I dig it, dude. We got some news when it comes to Ozzy Osbourne. His latest album, Ordinary Man, has been officially certified gold as of September 9th by the Recording Industry Association of America for sales excessing that of 500,000 units. So good on Ozzy at his age.
Dude, it's amazing. I mean, I love it that, he's still kicking and he'll sneeze and people will buy the stuff. And I mean, I'm being a little facetious there, but I think it's awesome. It's when he did that song with Post Malone. I mean, it went to #1. He's 4 decades, #1 songs. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, he's actually as well, some more Ozzy news. He's apparently scheduled to undergo major neck and spinal surgery rather soon, according to his wife, Sharon. The surgery is expected to help with the neck and spine issues Ozzy suffered during a fall that he suffered in 2019 that occurred as a result of Ozzy tripping while attempting to go to the bathroom at night.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he is going to be going under the knife at some point soon. Sharon didn't reveal when, but hopefully it is all, a positive outcome for the Oz man, because he's struggling with a lot of stuff, man. I mean, he's got Parkinson's disease and he's getting up there, and he's got.
Dude, he wiped out in England on an ATV about 7 years ago. Yeah,
2003.
That's longer. Yeah, but he almost died. Yeah. So he's got back issues. I mean, never mind all the other stuff.
Steel rods in him and everything. So
yeah, that's the name of his new band, Steel Rods.
Steel Rod. Yeah. Did you hear Dave Ellefson? I got some new Dave Ellefson news. He's co-producing a documentary about late Megadeth drummer Nick Menza.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. This thing, Screaming Butterfly Entertainment has announced a partnership with Dave's own. I didn't know that Dave Ellefson had a film company called Ellefson Films. I didn't know about this. There's plenty of jokes there, dude.
Oh, of course, there's too many. They're all going through my head right now. I could riff them off.
But the upcoming feature length, it's going to be an upcoming feature length documentary called This Was My Life, the story of Nick Menza. Ellefson acting as co-producer of the film and will also provide narration throughout the documentary as well. So that's rather interesting. I mean,
it is. It is interesting. I actually saw that he put out. He's got a new band, and did he put out, or he said he was recording?
Does. It's called The Lucid.
Yeah, he was very lucid a few months ago. That's for sure.
So, I think it's great that Dave Ellefson is doing something. He's got the band and he's getting involved with this biography thing. But I don't know, just there's something changes after you've seen a guy's semen, dude.
I agree. It's he's trying to put it behind him. Pardon the pun there too, but it's a tough one, bro. I mean, hey,
I just can't get that image out of my head, John. That picture that you texted me when it first happened.
I apologize. I'm really sorry about that. But if I saw it, you got to see it too. How about that? It's not fair.
And it's just going to be lodged, I think, in so many people's brains for so long. That's the problem when something like this happens, man.
It's got to be tough for him too, and he's trying to again put it behind him and move on. And it's always going to come up, and that Mustaine knew that. He whether you had issues with the guy or he was your best friend, it just you've made the band look like a comic fest. You look, it's terrible what happened, and it's unfortunate. Nobody's business, but guess what? You can't put stuff out there. We've said it time and time again. Don't do shit like that, especially if you're a somewhat celebrity, man. Mm-hmm. Someone's dying to find this stuff.
I know. But anyway, I do hope the best of luck for David with the new the band and of course with the biography, the documentary.
I think it'd be cool. Yeah,
on Nick Menza, because I love Nick Menza. I'm a big.
He was
Nick
great,
Menza
dude.
fan.
He was killer. I again worked with those guys years ago with Nick. I had a friend of mine who's a drummer. Just a little footnote here, and when Menza passed away, you know how everyone starts putting up little tributes to Nick and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People didn't realize that guy was a machine, man. He was a great drummer, and that's what my buddy was saying. He said, I never really, I liked the band Megadeth, but didn't really know much about blah blah blah. Nick's playing, and he put him up, and he goes, wow, yeah. So if you guys out there, man, just want to see some great metal drumming, Nick was the guy. He was out there at the onset of all of this too.
Dude, the Rust in Peace album, I think is some of the most incredible metal drumming I've ever heard. It's killer. Awesome.
It's killer, dude. Yeah,
it really is. Going from thrash to an era that you may be more familiar with as well, John. Enough's Enough are going to be releasing Hard Rock Night covers album.
They just played here, buddy.
Did they?
They played 2 weeks, 3 maybe.
They played at Count's Vamp, didn't they?
Yeah, they played. I did not go, but they played here. Seen them many times in the past.
Well, here it is, John. Enough's fondness for the legendary rock and roll band The Beatles has been more than well documented over the years. Well, now for sure. It looks like that Enough's Enough has announced the release of Enough's Hard Rock Night, a covers album of some of their favorite Beatles songs, as well as songs from the Beatles post Beatles careers, like I guess they're talking like Plastic Ono Band and stuff. So Enough's Enough is covering Plastic Ono Band. But they're here just looking at the track listing for this thing, John. They cover Magical Mystery Tour, Cold Turkey, Eleanor Rigby, Live and Let Die, Dear Prudence, Helter Skelter, Jet, Revolution, Back in the USSR, and finally With Little Help from My Friends.
Right. Cool songs, but again, it's a niche market now. Let's really be honest here. It's a niche market. It's a 40 plus. I mean, there's, some kids get into it. Do we care? Does anyone care? Anyone? Anybody? I don't know. But if you're a fan of that, and if you like the Beatles, I mean, you might be into it. But that's cool. They got to do something, because I'm going to tell you right now, if they put out a brand new record with new songs, no one gives a shit. No one cares. Dee Snider said it best. He goes, "Listen, we came from this era 30 years ago. No one wants to hear new music. We can put new music out, but when you play live, just play your hits. Play Stay Hungry. Hey, John Bon Jovi, play Slippery When Wet. That's what everybody wants to hear. Other than that, there's no reason for Enough's Enough to put a new record out. Hence why I bet they're doing a cover. It's just a glory hole project for them, and I bet it'll sound great because they do love the Beatles. And Chip Zenoff, that's his favorite. I don't know, is his brother Donnie back in the band?
Enough's Enough is Chip Zenoff, Tony Fennell, and they're Tori Stoffrigan and Daniel Benjamin Hill. So I think Chip is the only original member, isn't he?
Yeah, it's his band. So he's going to be singing too. I mean, it used to be his brother. When I saw those guys in, I think, 88, it was killer, dude. That first record for that time period, it was awesome. Great songs, New Thing and Fly High Michelle. And, it was cool. But in this day and age, who cares? Monsters of Rock Cruise. If you want to go see them, you'll do that. And here's the other thing. Chip Zenoff is a cool dude, but he plays with everybody. He will just get out there and play. I've met him many, many years ago, and I've seen him on stage with so many at any jam. If Chip Zenoff is there, he'll be on stage jamming.
Kiss frontman Paul Stanley, you'll be interested in this one here, he's admitted that he and band manager Bill Aucoin rejected the chance to work with Van Halen back in 1976 in order to protect Kiss. Now, this is just coming out now. He tells this story in the forthcoming Eddie Van Halen biography called Unchained, but it's called Eruption in the UK. Here in North America, it's called Unchained. But apparently what happened is when Kiss was playing in LA in October of 76, Kiss was in LA taping a 3-song performance for, it was either the Paul Lynde Halloween special or what was the other one? Concert.
Don Kirshner or Midnight Special. They did all those. That's
one of those.
75, 76. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Paul Stanley says in the interview, it was the Paul Lynde Halloween special. When they did Firehouse, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. I saw it too when it came on. I could still see it in my head, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah. But Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons back then, they decided to hang out in LA for a while after they recorded that. And on November the 2nd, at the invitation of notorious radio DJ Rodney Bringenheimer.
Yeah, I know that dude. Yeah.
Oh, yep. He's the king of Sunset Strip. That's right. But they hung out at the Starwood Club to check out 2 local bands. Those bands were The Boys and Van Halen. Now, what happened was
who was in The Boys?
Who was in The Boys?
You know who was in The Boys, buddy.
Was it Michael White?
Michael White and George Lynch.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. I thought I recognized that.
Yeah.
The Boys. Yes.
And
right.
that's because George has been around just as long as everybody else. And so is Michael White. He's, from the early 70s, mid 70s. But that was The Boys, Michael White and George Lynch.
I should have registered because I thought The Boys, who was in that band again. But getting back to Kiss, though, apparently they were just so blown away. And Simmons, he went backstage and he said, he wanted to work with the band. Everyone knows the story. He put them in the studio.
Right.
And then apparently what he did is he had the finished demo and he presented it to Bill Aucoin and everybody, and they all were just like, yeah, so what? And Simmons didn't understand why people couldn't really grasp this. But Paul Stanley is saying now that he admits that he didn't want anything to do with Van Halen because they wanted to keep Kiss together as an active band. And Gene sort of had his tendency to go off on his own, and they wanted to keep Gene in place. So that's why they didn't want to work with Van Halen back then.
Well, also, too, just you presenting this story, I mean, you hear things throughout the years. What ends up happening, as it did happen, Van Halen did come out and they blew up huge, and they blew everybody off the stage who they were playing with. Yeah. I mean, opening for Black Sabbath, they had to kick them off the tour. I think after 1 or 2 shows, said, no, this is our show, not you.
Yeah.
But I think maybe what would have happened, Bill Aucoin, who was exclusively managing Kiss, I bet would have managed these guys. And with Paul Stanley, the way he's thinking, no, you work for us. We're your band, not this other band, because he knew they would have exploded. So now there's a conflict of interest. Hey, man, how's our tour? How's this? How's that? Oh, I'm working on with the Van Halen tour. No, our stuff.
Yeah, that's that's probably what I'm thinking too. I mean, Paul's not an idiot, So.
Live to win.
Live to win, exactly. And I guess the final thing I was going to bring up here is this story that took place in Bristol, UK, where there was an Airbnb that refused to allow a metal fan to rent the property due to this person's musical taste being a metalhead. It's true fact.
How would you know?
How it happened? She was in town. It was a woman by the name of Kaylee. She was in town in Bristol because she wanted to go and see her favorite metal band called Death Blooms, and they were playing at a concert there. And I guess that the landlord had heard of the band and said to her that he was not comfortable with the nature of the music. And it goes when she actually went on to press the landlord to ask why of the refusal, they stated that they have no issue with anybody's taste in music, but they find that the band Death Blooms, their music and lyrics is aggressive, expletive riddled, and disturbing. So she wasn't allowed. So she was scrambling to find a place. She wasn't allowed to stay in an Airbnb because she dug metal.
Was this recently?
Yes, it was a very recent stage. It just happened.
So I guess what at an Airbnb, the people who have the house say, hey, you're flying in. Oh, what are you coming here to do? Oh, where are you coming from?
Sure.
How many people are going to be here? Oh, by the way, what are you coming here to do? And obviously this person gave up the information, not thinking anything of it, that it would be a negative. Oh, I'm coming to see a concert. Oh, what band? Oh, they're called Death Blooms. Oh, and then he got onto a website. Oh, I don't like that. You can't stay here. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I mean. Good thing she wasn't going in to see Behemoth or Deicide.
Or gangster rapper. Imagine that too. I mean, no, I would say no. No.
It's like that's like having the Sinister Minister show up to your place.
Oh, he's more than welcome, though. Yeah,
of course he is.
He's more than welcome. But again, it's that perception on the way someone, how someone looks, right? And then you talk to the guy, and it's like, oh, he's a cool dude.
Oh, he's an excellent dude.
Yeah, but I'm saying anybody for that matter. But that's that perception this guy had with a metal band, and he blew it. I think that's silly.
It's ridiculous. So Airbnb is now investigating it, and I mean, I don't know. What do you call that? Do you call that metalism? Like, I don't know what you would call that.
Metalism. It's called no. It's an anti-metalite.
Anti-metalite. There you go. That's what it is. Don't forget, as always, check out loadedradio.com for all your hard rock and metal news daily, as well. The 24-hour radio station, our podcasts, our archives, tons of stuff, and it's all right there for you. A click away at loadedradio.com. You can always email us, Scott or Johnny at loadedradio.com. And I think that's about it. Yes, we'll talk to you again next week on another edition of the Loaded Radio podcast. Thanks for tuning in.